Okay, girls, so today's lesson we're going to be working on order of operations. So some of you have already done this in primary school. So this video is going to be quite quickly. It's going to be only a revision. So if you haven't done this in primary school and you feel that this video is not sufficient, just please look for me in class and we will work through more examples. Okay, girls? So order of operations. What is order of operation? Basically, it's a set of conventions in maths. So conventions, we use plenty of conventions in common life. So if you think about it, how do we read? We read from, and how do we write? We do it from left to right, from top to bottom. Agree? That's how we do it. Other cultures do it differently. If we think about, let's say, the red light straight, what does the red light straight means? Stop. What does the green light straight means? It means go. So those are conventions that we use so that we all agree that when we see something, we know what to do. It's the same in maths. And math is an universal language. So we have a set of conventions that regardless of where you live, if you have a set of problems, you know exactly what to do and everyone will get to the same answer. It doesn't matter if you live in Australia and you learned math in Australia, or if you lived in Colombia and you learned math in Colombia, you will still get to the same answer. So what are these set of operations? And you have learned this acronym. So it's BIDMAS. Some of you might have learned BODMAS. And I recommend that you use BIDMAS from now on. Yes, I've seen in primary schools that they use the O for order or for others, but yeah, you'll see that we use here from now on is going to be BIDMAS. So what is it? It's bracket, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. But in your notes, I want you to copy it like this. Brackets, so that's the first one. Indices, and then division and multiplication, I want you to write it in the same sentence. Why? Because they come at the same level. They are in the same order. It's not that you do division before multiplication. You do whichever operation comes first. Which one do you do first? From left to right, in the same way that we read. And in addition and subtraction, the same thing happens. They come at the same level. So basically, it's like a ranking of what we're going to do, which operation we're going to do first when we have several operations to do. Okay, so let's start with some examples here. Good. I'm going to erase this dot here. So let's do our first example. So let's start with something very simple, which is say 6 plus 12 divided by 4. So if we do this, brackets, I don't have any brackets. Indices, I don't have any indices. Multiplication and division, yes, I do. And it's good practice if you get used to put brackets around what you have to do first. So instead of starting to solve it right away, you just write a brackets around here and say, okay, now I have 6 plus, and I know very clearly that what I have to do first is this division, okay? So if we do that, we do 12 divided by 4, which is going to be 3. And then we have 6 plus 3, which is going to be equal to 9. So that's our first example. Now let's do another example here. This one is going to look a little bit more complicated because it's going to have several brackets. So it's good practice when you're doing brackets and you have more than one, that you use like a ranking in brackets as well, so that you know which one relates to which. So when I write this down, follow me what I'm doing here. So I'm doing 80 divided by, and then we have this type of bracket here, and then I have a square bracket inside, and then I have our normal round brackets, and I said 11, take away 2, I close that bracket, and then I say times 2, and then I close the square bracket, and then I do plus 2, and then I close the big bracket. Okay, why is this useful? Because it becomes very clear which bracket is related to which one. So I'm going to change colors here just to highlight something. These green ones, because both are round brackets, are related to this operation inside. But if I think about the square ones, so I have this one with this one here. So that's what it's talking about, this one about. And then I have the big one here, this big bracket here. That is the last one that I have to do. So what do you do first? When you have a lot of brackets, you work from the inside to the outside. So the first operation that I have to do is 11 take away 2, which is 9, times 2. Then I'm working on the pink one. I'm going to erase this green one. I'm just going to do it with pink one so we see that we're working on this one here. And I have 19 times 2, which is going to be 18. Agree? And then I'm going to do plus 2. I'm working with in this bracket now, which is going to be 20. Okay. And what do I have at the end? I have 80 divided 20, which is 4. And that's my final answer. Let's do one more example and then we're over for today's lesson. So the last example is going to be this one. Okay, let's do 100 divided to 5 squared times 1 plus 1 plus 3. Okay, so what do we have to do? Bit mass. First thing that we have to do, this bracketing here. Do we have, okay, so let's do that one first. I'm going to focus on this bracket first. Good. So this one is going to become a 2. Good. So I've done brackets. Now, indices. Do I have an index? Yes, I do. This 5 to the power of 2, which we have said that is 5 times 5, which is 25. So I have this one, 25. Okay, and now I'm going to rewrite the whole operation just to make it very clear what I have done. So I have 100 divided 25. I'm going to write it here just to make sure that everyone is following. Times these 2 plus 3. Okay, so now I have a normal, like without brackets and without indices. Now I only have to do first multiplication and division in order how it appears. So which one I'm going to do first? I'm going to do this 100 divided by 25 first, and then I'm going to do whatever I get there times 2, and the final thing that I'm going to do is plus 3. So do 100 divided by 25, which is going to be 4, times 2, which is going to be 8. So cross all of these ones, 8 plus 3, and my final answer is 11. Okay, girls, I hope you find it useful. If you have any questions, please let me know.